What's up, everybody? It's Showtime here. So, coming back around to last Cloudia, I wanted to get into some issues and also a couple tips. I've been going back and forth on making videos about this game because it's like there's so many little things I want to talk about, but most of them, it'd be like 2 minutes or something. So I'm gonna kind of conglomerate them all into one thing. So we might as well get to the tips part first. So. We'll roll over to like a basic battle here so I can show you guys. It'll be easier that way. Basic battle, of course, means Blaze Gardens. So anyways, here. Don't need a support for this. I do, but not for the purposes of this. What I'm gonna do actually, we'll create a little rub group here. Alright, so let's do this. So, a lot of you in combat, you've kind of expressed some frustrations at auto. And I want to show you guys what you can get out of it here. Now, there is still going to be the issue, and that's going to be one of the things I think needs to be addressed, is they need to add an option so that you can disable automatic spell casting, especially from your friend unit. For those who want to micromanage everything. I know there's some of you guys out there. Okay, real quick. The auto's on right here, so if you go into your settings, let me explain everything that happens here. So auto attack, what auto attack means is your character, no matter what they are, a caster, whatever, they're going to always strive to run towards whatever optimal range is, even if the optimal range is dumb, in my opinion, in some characters, and get that auto attack off. And that includes if you queue up like a spell, and in some cases even a special ability. And, they're going to get that auto attack off before doing whatever you order them to do, which in my case, as a caster, I'll tell my caster, hey, do the big AoE death spell, and they'll be running into position to get that auto attack off. Well, with the nature of this game, knockbacks, or maybe the mob's running at a faster rate than your character can and repositioning all over the damn place. It might take your character like 10 freaking seconds sometimes to get that auto off just because they're getting knocked back, etc. So, if you don't want to deal with that, definitely turn auto attack off and then just kind of manually control your character there. You can turn specials off, obviously, right there. And then here, so I wanted to get down to these options. Manual drive. So what manual drive is, if you'll notice, some of you might not have noticed, the little stick in the middle of the screen, you'll be able to drag it back and forth and manually move your character. This can help if a big AoE's come in or you just want to split your party. Although sometimes the AI is so dumb, it'll just run right back to the danger zone, which gets annoying. Now, auto drive, you notice here I have it on semi. Well, full auto drive means that whenever auto's on, there's absolutely nothing you could do until you turn auto off. And then likewise, you could just completely turn auto off. But what semi is actually going to allow you to do is you're going to be able to interfere, even though it's autoing. You're going to be able to interfere and go ahead and tell it to cast a spell or use a certain ability. See here, my auto's pretty much gone, but I could still be like, okay, do that, and then he's going to start casting his debuffs. So a lot of people don't know about the semi-auto function, but it makes auto a little bit better because it still has full auto if you just want to farm a stage, but if you see something going wrong or you see a more optimal way to do something, the summon's up, because the auto never uses the summon, just go ahead and click it. So that's what semi does. That's why I recommend semi for most of you guys that are kind of casually playing. Now, rematch confirmation, what this is, after the battle, it will ask you, you want to repeat the battle. So if you find yourself wanting to repeat battles a lot, go ahead and click that. Now, rematch support. Support means that Bull will automatically include a random friend character, which may or may not be good, depending on if you want to save your more powerful friend units for certain missions or what have you. Now, what Semi is going to do, that's going to take you to your friend select screen, but you're going to be able to either select a friend or select no support. And then none, it just goes ahead and just throws you right into the battle screen and you can click it. Right now I'm on a full kick, so that's what I'm doing. And let's see. With oh yeah, so I guess we'll get into the issues with this game. So one of the main issues, like I said earlier, I'd like there to be an turn off automatic spell casting option. I would also like to see, because you notice here, some of your characters, they're not using all their abilities, and especially like Zek is famous for having 5 charges of ice block or whatever, ice coffin here, 3 charges of blizzard, and then his big AoE, but he's still running around auto attacking like crazy. Like, dude, why don't you use your skills? And then it's always painful when like you take control and you notice that, you know, the enemy's casting their big FU ulti. You notice you could have broke this dude if Zek was just using his skills, at least when they were full. Just throw one out there so that it could keep recharging. So that's something. The AI is simply just going to have to get better in this game. Otherwise, I mean, I've already seen there's a lot of people that are so frustrated with it, they're pretty much done. But, okay, so let's get to the other issues of this game. Okay, so anything out here? I think it's pretty much. Okay, so one of the first issues we can get into, let me just go to other. And by the way, for those of you that have looked at my crystals and you think I'm a whale, haha, haha, armed at all, haha. Anyway, so number one, the login bonuses are really bad for the most part. Most of the top ones have been gotten by now, but usually it's like, you know, 3 of the like liquids or whatever. The first couple is okay. It's like 100 crystals on all the first days. And then it'll be like a silver bar, which is like 1,000 gold, which is nothing. And then maybe 3 of like the 3-star upgrade materials on these 2. And then, you know, like you see, silver bar is always on day 2. Once again, silver bar sucks. Only on the last day do you actually get a good gold bar reward that's at least 10,000. Might be the 100,000 variant. And then on day 5, you get a summon ticket, which is fine. I think that's a fine reward. But this first whole block right here, pretty much, 9 days out of the first 15 is just like, why even bother? Now, one thing I would suggest to the dev team here, you could start at 100 crystals here, that's fine. Ramp it up. 200 crystals, 300 crystals, 400 crystals. And if that's too much, at least just go by 50. 150, 200, 250, 300. And then make the last crystal you get 500 because you played the game 26 days. Like, come on, give us a reward for that. Now, once again, the silver bar rewards are dumb. I get one of those tomorrow, great. The tier 3 rewards on the crystals, that's not a bad one, honestly, especially since there's at least 2. I'd like to see, like, maybe 4, 3, but oh well. And then eventually there's going to be a 10 summon ticket right here. And then an Ethereum. Ethereum is what you use to get your Arc Ethers. The special item that the Arc is going to give you. So what I'm going to suggest, as far as giving you stuff, you see this right here, how they give you 30 of these? Go ahead and put these on, like, right here, like on day 3. So go ahead, 30, 30, 30. That would be a nice little supplement. Maybe the first day silver is fine, but all the rest of these need to be like gold, because that's like not nearly enough money for a week. You're giving me 1,000 gold per week. Like, that's a little ridiculous. These, like I said, are fine. The tickets are fine. Ethereum's fine as a 30. Level up potions, you know, it's whatever. If these were like the first rate potions, that'd be one thing, but how it goes. So anyways, the rewards for these need to be amped up a bit. Now they do have like a monthly, or excuse me, a training bonus reward, which, you know, all that's pretty decent. You know, those are like tier 3 to tier 4 upgrade materials, first class XP potion, 5 crystals, that's pretty good. So, and then likewise the gacha. So the free gacha that we get, you get 3 a day if you log on every 8 hours, but like, look at this. Like, you see a red, you're thinking something really good, right? Well, okay, right there I actually got something decent. The Princess Soul. But normally it's like a monster soul, which, okay. And then otherwise some of the red things might be the upgrade crystals. But like all this stuff right here, like for one, like rank 1 stuff, this is really great stuff when you're like a new player, but when you're an older player, you gotta ramp this up. Gotta be at least like the bigger crystals, the medium-sized crystals, and give me a couple better upgrade mats here. So that gacha needs to change. I'm trying to think if anything wrong with the banners. Not really. I mean, we all always want... Oh, actually, there is one thing that's wrong. So, probability details on character banners. Look at that probability right there. It's a 0.5 for the actual unit versus a like a 0.28 for all these other ones, and it's like, well, you know, the actual chance of getting the on-banner unit when you add all the rest of these up, and especially as more characters keep getting added to the game, you know, you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 1%, 2%, 2, 4, so about 2.5%, little less chance of getting an off-banner character, while a 0.5% chance of getting the on-banner character. So if you just take that and don't even like worry about the arcs, if you're just talking about characters, there's a 5 to 1 chance you're not going to get the banner unit. I don't think that's right. Now, it's fine to have some of the characters up, but they need to amp this up a bit. Like, get that to... I think it should probably be at least 1 to 1. Probably. So this should add up to whatever this all adds up to, probability-wise. Now, that's going to take down the chances of getting arcs, but... I mean, if they don't want to mess with that, which I kind of understand since they got this stable 3%, then just make it a, out of the 3%, make it like a 1.5 or a 2% to get the on-banner unit versus one of these other units. That's what I say. Otherwise, the percentages are basically fine. If you really want the on-banner arc, it seems like the on-banner arcs drop a lot more than the characters. It might just be the higher percentage. Well, obviously the higher percentage, but I mean like in general versus a character dropping versus an arc dropping. When a character drops, it's, you know, fairly low chance to be Melza there. But then it seems like when you have an on-banner arc, the on-banner arc drops like crazy. That happened to me with that Golem core on the first arc banner initially in the game. So that's something I think that they should look at. Maybe make the on-banner character a little more prevalent, because that's why we're pulling, right? Now, now another thing I'll get into is events. Limit Breaker, oh no, yeah, Limit Breaker. Limit Breaker is basically, and I've seen it on the spreadsheets and stuff. It's the rewards in this are just not worth what you want me to invest, which is 2 of my on-hour. Like, look at those rewards. Why would I do that? Like, at this point in the game, it's great if you're lower. That's fine, but the instant you get to the ice continent, for the most part, like, why would I want any of this other than to supplement what I already have? And that's the hard version, like, not even the normal and the easy versions. So, that dungeon needs a massive revamp, and... Zell Dungeon and Gold Rush Dungeon, to be honest, unless it's the only thing around, really not that much Zell overall. Still a great early game, but... And then, like, I'll be running, like, the hard mode of this, and these guys will have the nerve to drop silver. And as you see here, I haven't never gotten the regular gold drops, and I've run this, you know, probably combined a dozen plus times, and it's like, how am I still getting the 3-star drop? It's like, this is the hardest mode you get that's supposed to have the highest probability rate of better loot. That's kind of silly. Now, the Transcendence Gate, the only problem with it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. Why? For those who don't know, Transcendence is you have to get material here in order to get your character past 60, and you can only enter when you're 55 and above. And so far, like, today's Saturday, so I still got some time, but I don't have the material to upgrade my dine. I need one more thing to drop, and it keeps dropping all the other material. Number one, if you're gonna make this time limited, you need to have more than like 1 or 2 things drop. Like, it's gotten to the point where people are reloading the screens just because they AoE a bunch of mobs and they see all coins drop and no treasure chests. Like, well, what's going on with that? Second, this artificial limiter thing, because you can't even unseal it with a dungeon seal key. Where you can normally, like, get all these things to open up for 24 hours. Like, why is it that I have to wait until the weekend to upgrade my character from 60 to 80 or 80 to 100? Like, why is that? That's kind of a dumb thing. So that needs to go, to be perfectly honest. They at least need to make it so that you can farm something in order to open it up for 24 hours. Because that's a little ridiculous. Now, another issue is these charges up here, they regenerate at 1 per hour. And as you see, to run the hardest mode here, you need 3 of these. So basically 3 hours worth of charges. Now, obviously we can't all play the game 24/7. So I would actually like to see the upper limit of this, and if it has to be purchasable, like crystals, then I perfectly get that, but I would personally like to see the upper limit of the event dungeon go to 10 charges, at least 8 charges. And, you know, if it's something that we gotta upgrade, grind for, whatever, that's fine, but it needs to be something that's gonna happen. If I was acting up. Good old Wi-Fi. So anyways, this up here needs to get to at least like 8. I would like to see 10, but you just need to have a little more diversity on running this stuff, because pretty much right now, like, I don't even do Gold Dungeon on weekends, because what's the point? Like, everything's important. Transcendence, I could do Gold Dungeon another day. Unless I'm seriously hurting for the gold for one big upgrade or whatever. There's probably like a couple other things. Oh yeah, so some announcements on what's coming up for this game. Now, as you guys know, they skipped one of the units. I think it was Rommel was his. They skipped him and went straight to Dark Melza, which I was getting that explained to me yesterday in a stream. It actually makes a little bit of sense now, because Arena was released when Rommel came out, and Rommel has a bunch of Arena missions for you that apparently get you crystals and stuff, so I guess whenever we see him is when we're going to see the Arena mode open up. Now, I also heard that the Arena mode, it only rewards red and blue orb. Like, it doesn't reward, like, crystals or anything else that you would consider useful. And not that red or blue orb's bad. That's great as a supplement, but, you know, the greater majority of us, we want that extra bonus crystal rating, especially with the limited options to farm crystals game. Once you've cleared out most of the content, and then at that point it's just leveling stuff up and then completing missions. And speaking of missions, they should probably add some more of these, in my opinion. To add a bit more. Now, I'm sure probably once I get like these two and this, there's more missions behind it. But in general, like, the last event didn't even have any missions, which I heard we got the event and Japan didn't, so I guess that's not that big a deal, but it would have been nice for them to drop us some extra crystals and tickets and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'd just like to see a little bit more stuff going on there for us. And I'm sure there's probably like a couple other things, but I mean, overall, it's still a fun game. It's Grind City, though. It would be nice if we got some type of auto, it doesn't have to be like full auto, but some type of auto something. Like, hey, run this dungeon 50 times, or that type of thing. That would be nice, because there's probably a lot of people out there using it programs to farm on you. Of course, if you're young and you're seeing that, whatever, man. So, otherwise though, like, I'm pretty much enjoying the greater majority of the rest of this game. One thing I would like to see too is if you're gonna have a nightmare event, because the last nightmare event, basically it rewarded you points only, and it wasn't giving you currency for the shop. Hopefully that'll be changed. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because the last event, like I said, it wasn't in for JP, so for whatever reason they didn't give us all crystals and stuff to do because they probably figured, oh, they're getting lots of crystals from the world or whatever. But in the future, when the nightmare event comes for this, it better have freaking rewards and it better give us points for the shop. There should actually be a nightmare shop, in my opinion, with like some a little bit quicker stuff to grind that's a little bit higher quality. That would be nice. Like one really good piece of gear. Start with the 4-star material upgrades, and then have a couple of the 5-star stuff that you can only get normally from the weekend dungeon. I think that's fair. So, oh, quick tip too. Any of you guys using your friend units as units you take out in battle gets you 15 extra friend points. So make sure you're spamming all your friend units all day. Getting through as many of those as possible. And then also try to hang on to your friend points. You know, sometimes you gotta spend them because you're one mat away from something, I understand. But try to hang on to them because later on down the road there's gonna be half friend point events, so everything is gonna be half off on the shop. Or like an event or whatever's going on. But overall, still having a good time with this game. Like I said, I didn't pull it all on the Dark Melza banner. Pretty much, I'll show you what I got going on. Dine's my main unit. Robin's our physical supplement, and then we also run Princess with them. And then, real quick, I'll show you what Dine has. Still working on them. But of course, you gotta have the Ice Cane on your top caster DPS. Got the Blaze Robe right here with all that extra stuff. MP cost down. Extra damage to enemies fainted or break. Which is funny because I don't even need to faint or not necessarily faint, but break enemies most of the time anymore because kill them. That's how it goes. And then skills, got a ton of skills. But what I'm running with now, Crimson Flare, Burning Strikes free. Crimson Flare, actually, I could probably, no, I do still use Burning Strike sometimes. Blizzard for friend units and then certain things. And then Lightning Gauge, I find those the most used abilities. Got Poison Cloud for free, underrated Dark skill. And then Nemesis to be able to take down enemies int, or not int, mind, so their magic defense. And then I roll them with as much MP HP stuff as I can, magic up stuff. And then on occasion when the fight calls for it, I'll switch to magic defense. And then also down here, got Fast Aura, that's 20% extra intelligence. At the start of a battle. Ale of Honor recovers 10% HP at the end of every wave. And we got the Sexy, although it costs 9 SC, man, that really hurt me. High level magic chance, so pretty much 30% casting haste, which is pretty cool. So you can cast that, what's it called? The Giga Ball or whatever, the Meteor. Cast that a little faster. Now, I've worked a little bit on Melza since you're getting double points for her during the event. And then also got a couple of the scrub units here. Working on Lucal just a little bit, Gorm just a little bit. I threw Zek back in because Dine's basically got everything I want on him now from arcs. And then eventually I'll probably get over to like Ray, because I see Ray's actually pretty strong, and then working on her a little bit. And then any unit that has a variant coming out, so Robin, Melza, well, she's pretty out technically, Princess. You might as well start working on them right now because the variants, they get whatever arc skills you put on the normal one. So it's kind of cool. You can switch them between dark, light, regular, whatever's going on. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for me. Actually, huh? You guys want to hang out a bit? Show you guys transcend it. Non-scrub team. Alright, so Transcendence Gate, for you guys that have done it, the hard mode, it basically has random changing mobs, so you never know what's going to be at the beginning, only the boss is stable. Big undead, unfazable dude. So pretty much, let's get into it here. So these guys I saw, it's the gold prod things. I know that they're weak to dark, so I could actually just start channeling Crimson right now. Stupid auto attack thing. That 30% extra cast speed, get it off fairly quick. And pretty much right here, like I said, if I want a super quick strike, I just queue up a burning strike. Wham. That for him. I think there's three waves and then the boss, but it might be 4. Okay, yeah, 3 waves in the boss. Now these guys, I know they're weak to Holy. And Wind too. Unfortunately, I don't have either, but they are weak to Fire. Go ahead and queue one up here. My friend unit's being extra conservative here on his spells. My guy straight up missed his auto attack. Or not his auto, his one. As the mob was moving in a way. Funny. Pretty hard to miss, too. Anyways, we're clear. Luckily, I haven't had the God Killer spawn or like any of the crazy golems or anything. Oh, these are actually really easy waves. Funny, funny, funny. Yeah, that should pretty much do it for them. Test. Do some auto pride or not. Alright, so this boss, if you've never seen him or you're new to the game or whatever, pretty much he has an enrage, and if he gets to it, he'll wipe you pretty much no matter what. I'm sure there's a way around it, but I haven't seen one yet, unless you just have like crazy amounts of health. So what you want to do early is definitely get all your debuffs on him. What I'm doing right now. Now he is weak to ice as well as holy. So in my case, I only have ice and ice on my on my dime. I'm gonna go ahead and start spamming the friend unit. Or if he has the high magic chance. Didn't really took. But you see here the AI is sitting on 5 ice coffins. Always some. So pretty much just rinse and repeat. Get it down ASAP. If you're like not here yet, but you want to know what to start building for, pretty much it. I'm not sure. This is my first week doing it actually, so I'm not sure if the boss changes. Thing like that. And there you have it. One whole treasure chest. I wasn't even looking to see if others dropped or not. At least the boss always drops one, but that's still kind of like... See how many I got? Yep. Like, why are you doing a whole dungeon for like one drop, literally? At least it's a 5-star, but look. Like, I don't even need that for dying. I need something else. Gotta keep rolling that RNG, man. But anyways, that'll be it for this video, guys. And I'm Showtimedr. This is my YouTube. Please hit like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. It helps the channel out a lot. We've also opened up, there's super chats for my future streams, but there's also the membership. You'll see join down below the video. If you feel like throwing me a couple bucks, help out the cause, always appreciate it. And yeah, I got my link to my Discord, link to my Twitch. Probably be streaming tonight, probably Final Fantasy War Visions actually, but so if you feel like checking me out more, getting to know me better, let me know. Come find me. I'll catch you guys. Take care.